And good evening, Australia. Welcome to the show. I'm Michael Kuzilny, and it's tough times. Tough times never last, but tough people do. And if you're going through a tough issue tonight, God bless you. Just remember, going through the fire will make you stronger, and there's always a lifespan to every problem. On tonight's show, I've got Matt. They call him Aussie. He's only 26, but he's been through some very, very tough times, but he's back on the straight and narrow. He's been to prison. He hasn't seen his son for a long time. He's had the drug addictions. But I take my hat off for him because he's come on the show and willing to share your story, which I appreciate. I like straight shooters, you know, blokes who've mucked up but say the way it is, rather than bullshit artists who tell you what you want to hear, you know. But tell me about how did it all start for you, Aussie? You didn't have two parent, I was going to say normal, no one's normal these days, but you didn't have the traditional mum and dad parents, did you? They weren't together?
No, they were together up until 84. They were married when I was born in 78. Yeah. But got a divorce. I grew up in Port Melbourne, which was pretty hard. In
the commission homes there? Yeah. And how old were you when they split up?
4.
Can you remember the bluing back in those days?
Oh, yeah.
Even at that age?
Yeah, it was horrific, mate, yeah.
Can you speak up, Matt? Just to,
sorry, mate. Yeah, it was horrific back then.
Yeah, horrific back then. And then what happened? Tell me about your growing up. Was it a normal growing up?
For people who've been living in Port Melbourne, yeah. Or Broady or
how was school? Did you get into a lot of blues at school?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah?
I didn't really focus much at school because I thought just the way things were at home, you know what I mean?
You thought, what's the use there? There weren't any role models for you?
Yeah.
Matt, and tell me, when did you get onto the drugs?
I dabbled in the drugs, like I've tried speed a couple of times, I've tried chuff a couple of times, I've been on the pills for a bit, Valiums and that, but I'm an alcoholic, or recovering alcoholic at the moment.
Yeah.
That all would have started for me when my guitarist OD'd in 2000 or 2001.
So you played in a punk band or a rock band?
No, it was a heavy metal band.
Heavy metal band.
Yeah, I was a singer, he was a guitarist, we had a bass player and drummer.
Good on you. Where did you play?
Didn't perform anywhere as such, we were just getting up off the ground, you know what I mean?
Just loved it. How'd you get together?
I was living at a place called the Lighthouse Foundation, run by Susan Barton.
Yeah, I met Susan. Lovely lady.
Yeah, she helped me a lot. Yeah, and we just met through there. Tomo was friends through someone else, and went back to his joint, and he chucked on the Slayer and pulled out his guitar, and that was it.
So you had a good time. How long did that last for?
Probably 4 or 5 months.
And then, Matt, what happened? One of them OD'd?
Yeah, I went to Geelong one day, and then I come back the night after, and it was a 30-degree day, and I was a bit drunk. I went to his place, just up the road from Lighthouse. Anyway, he was on his bed, OD'd. He had the heater going full bore, and it was 30 degrees outside.
Yeah, you found him, huh?
Yeah, didn't affect me at first. No. You know, I was all right. Just thought, oh, you're dead. Yeah. And I was half pissed, so probably numbing the pain. Right. Then probably a month to the day, actually, the girl who introduced me to him, who was living at Lighthouse, Sunta, she took her life as well, hung herself. Did she? Yeah, I found her as well. Did you? Yeah. So who was this girl? This was Sunta. And she was the girlfriend of your mate? No, she was a friend of him. She was a friend, but she was a part of your group as well? Yeah, yeah. Did that affect you, that death? Not really, because I was drunk at the time as well, so... Were you drunk every day? No. What on, beer or bourbon? Yeah, spirits, anything. How old were you when you became an alcoholic? It started after that. Well, I drank my whole life when I was growing up. I used to knock off mum's beers and dad's beers out of the fridge. But at what age? 5, 6, probably a bit younger. But having a beer at 6, that's amazing, isn't it? Isn't it important to teach our children properly, especially not to drink at 6? Isn't that amazing? But they didn't care, did they? They didn't know. They didn't know. But they're probably too wasted to even realise, huh? Dad used to pull me up on it sometimes. Did he? He knew that I was taking, obviously, you know. Yeah. But yeah, after all that happened with my guitarist Tom and my friend Sunta, my dad died of cancer, and I just went off the edge.
How old were you then when Dad passed on?
24.
God bless him. And at 24, the shit at the fan did it. You were saying you were in a comatose state for 10 years, just drinking and...
I'm actually 32 now.
You're 32?
I'm 26, yeah.
You look 26. See, I didn't even ask you, I just made it up.
Yeah.
But that's the good show, the thing about this show, it's not premeditated, it's not rehearsed, it's not pretentious, just straight down the line, very authentic. I just look at people and just guess. But you're 32.
Yeah.
Tell me, so a lot of shit happened when you were 26, yeah?
Yep.
You're saying you went to Tasmania for a holiday but ended up staying there in prison for 12 months.
I was actually homeless, but yeah, I considered a holiday because I'd never been out of Melbourne before.
Yeah, so this was your overseas trip?
Oh, I'd been to New South Wales, but never, you know, overseas. And to me, that was overseas, you know.
Yeah, it's a lovely place, Tassie.
Yeah, it was
but it
really
wasn't lovely
nice.
for you?
It was really cold. It was all right for the first few weeks.
What happened? Living with a bloke?
Yeah, I was living with a bloke and
Drank too much piss?
Yeah, one night I drank too much piss.
And stabbed him?
Yeah, had a blue with him and...
What was the blue about?
I honestly can't remember.
Was he a nice bloke? Do you regret you stabbed him?
Oh, I regret, yeah, of course I do.
Was he a nasty bloke? Did he try to stab you too or shoot you or something?
In the end, he was just weird, you know what I mean? Like, I couldn't work out whether he was queer or... Yeah, with my head, I just get, you know, real funny with people. Yeah. Because I'm straight, you know. Yeah. I like to have mates, not, you know, boyfriends.
Did that offend you? Is that why you got when you got
no, it wasn't that. It was something to do with a stereo or something. And then.
But you were pissed. You wouldn't have done it under circumstances. Were you on drugs as well?
No.
So you then woke up with blood all over you.
I woke up in at the Hobart Remand Centre with a white suit on, covered in blood, and I was sleeping like that, and my head was hurting real bad because apparently I slept for 6 hours on a wooden beam like this. Yeah. I woke up, didn't know what happened.
Did you cop a flocking from the...
Oh, I got pushed around a bit that night.
I can imagine. And did your mate survive?
Yeah, he was in hospital for a couple of days, I think. Haven't seen or heard from him since. No. It was once in the throat, through his tongue, and twice in the stomach. You
stabbed him 4 times?
Three times.
3 times. How do you feel about that?
Well, I didn't remember it until like a few weeks later. It was like coming back to me. I was detoxing in the jail, and I got shanghaied from the Hobart Remand Centre to Risdon, and freezing cold, and I was sweating heaps. All the alcohol was coming out of me, and I just started dreaming about it, and I started remembering it, and I regret it, yeah, for sure.
Regret, yeah? Yeah. If you could speak to him, what would you say to him? Sorry.
I don't know what I could say for doing something like that to someone.
Man, is that your first stint in behind bars?
No.
I mean, was that your first stint in Tasmania?
Oh yeah, the first time I ever went.
So when you went to the district court there, or the county court, what do they call it?
Supreme Court.
Yeah, and you got a local lawyer or legal aid or something on that?
Legal aid, yeah.
Yeah, and any support from family?
No,
by yourself?
But his stepdaughter, who was actually in the room, supported me.
She supported you? Yeah,
because she could see that I was drunk and how the fight started, and she ended up coming to court. Yeah. And she was on my side.
We might talk about that court case after the next break. It's Tough Times Never Last. We'll be back very shortly.